Hello YouTube, March 11, 2019, third video of the day, and going to be the last, because due to the complexity of this topic, I think I'm going to save the fourth video for tomorrow, and then I got a couple other ones that I'm going to do tomorrow as well. I'm going to hopefully show, y'all want to help me choose an upcoming house for me to get into. The car has been pushed back due to several deaths that I've experienced in the family. I was, do a video on that. As 2 funerals within 2 weeks, and then my uncle nearly died, and all that, all within the course of the past couple weeks. So a lot been going on that's pushed the car trip back, but all that'll be explained in a separate video. But right now, let's get on into, it's finally time for the first black LGBTQ character in Marvel, which has long been a taboo subject because, ironically, despite the fact that superheroes is having all these types of powers, and you would think this would be the most radical or progressive areas as far as, okay, you got a man flying around in darn on tidy whities. You got a woman that is like a cat that, is a vigilante. You got all these people in darn cleavage revealing garments and darn tights and all this with questionable powers, but the one being LGBT is a little bit too far. You got aliens, you got people who are shapeshifters and literally gods and everything in the Marvel universe, but somebody simply being of the LGBTQ community, that's a little bit too much for this type of subject. What are y'all thoughts about that? Like, I mean, you literally have darn characters such as Mystique that can change sexes, but the topic of LGBT once again is a taboo subject. I mean, the only thing they would have to show is just maybe just one kiss. It's not like, I mean, all this stuff is PG-13, so it's not like you're going to see somebody fully naked getting it in or anything. So I never understood the restriction of LGBTQ characters in the modern day comics. Now, I understand back in the 1960s and stuff, back when women wasn't even really shown, you only had Wonder Woman back then, and then later on came Captain Marvel, and then Catwoman and all that. I can understand that. But now, by the time TV came onto the scene, we finally getting into the subject of Marvel having their character, and it shortly came after, Lee Daniels, or some of y'all like to call him Lee Scamulls, honey, and I'm right along with y'all, honey. But he just got, he's starting a movie with the, boy, Super Bitch, honey, the one that darn jumps up and down in the hills and whatever. And I hate that I don't know his actual name. I do not got his information pulled up, but I do follow him. He's so Southeast. I do know that's his Instagram, so I'll put that down below for y'all to check him out. But I did not catch his actual name. But yeah, we now on the topic of the first LGBT character in Marvel. I told y'all that it should have been me. And I'm telling you, they can go ahead and call your girl up to set up the movie, because you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm telling you, if y'all can darn go over there at Marvel have a 90-year-old woman being Black Panther and be nominated for her first award, if Ava DuVernay can darn go pick up a camera for the first time in her life with no darn go professional background experience at the age of 32, honey, you can allow this 26-year-old country Bama queen who darn go grew up on darn go comics. I had the original darn go still in the plastic 1950 copies. Limited mint condition of Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Incredible Hulk, X-Man, and all of that. Black Panther. I'm telling y'all, if you want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, this is how you do it. And then don't go behind my back and darn go have somebody else do the script, because I already got a story for this. I got a complex story written out that nobody don't know but me. So if y'all don't want me to at least come on as the director, honey, at least give me the darn writing credit. Y'all go ahead and get your girl out there and darn come out with the movie for Storm. Honey, a black woman in a leading role. A black woman in a leading role. Darker complexion. But she can be a little bit lighter than me. But people want to see a darker skinned Storm. Like, Storm's complexion range between being about 2 shades darker than me to as much as about 4 or 5 shades lighter than me. So I'm thinking we can hire an actual East African actress to play Storm, because her features do mirror mine. And she can have certain athletic ability. I mean, you know, fight skills. So I would hire somebody East African who is at least a green belt or higher, preferably a black belt or higher, so we can do a lot more hand-to-hand combat scenes with Storm. And then I play the nephew. I think darn Spyke should be the first gay character, because here's why. Spyke was created in 2000. Spyke is a character that don't have no love interest in the comic book world and is completely open to interpretation. So if you're going to make a character gay, and why not be somebody that it would not be compromisable to? So, like, don't make Superman or Batman or somebody who's always been straight for decades gay for the sake of appeasement. Because I hate when, you know, we want the darn take characters who always been one thing and temporarily make them something to fit what's going on in the world right now. Like, everybody wants a black Superman, and, you know, they talking about Michael B. Jordan for Superman or Green Lantern or some shit. And it's like, no. Give us our own original authentic characters. And it's like, Spyke is authentic and haven't been, you know, thought out as far as, you know, a plot in a backstory. So why not make somebody like Spyke gay as opposed to, you know, trying to make a major character gay? So with this first LGBTQ character, I feel it should have been Spyke. Like, they need to call your girl up, and doggone, we can have a first East African actress that can actually do Storm some gestures. Like I said, maybe 1 or 2 shades lighter than me. If we can't find nobody, you know, my complexion and darker, I'm willing to go 2 shades lighter than me. You know, she's African, so she already has the accent. She got the combat skills. I can educate her on the comics and the backstory about Storm and all the stuff that she needs to know about being claustrophobic, about, you know, Storm's mannerisms, how she has that motherly darn personality, but she's also badass and not to be effing played with. And then I come in as, you know, Spyke. I come in as the, you know, I'm willing to darn play the gay character, even though I'm supposed to be on the T side. They don't need to know that. I mean, hell, if Whoopi Goldberg can play a man, it ain't nothing wrong with me playing a darn gay character, okay? So, yeah, I can come in as Spyke, and I can put on a little bit more of an African accent. I mean, hell, if Idris Elba can learn how to do an American accent, I can actually learn how to do an African accent. I can darn go over there to the motherland and learn how to put on a strong African accent. So, with that, although, as I think about it though, Spyke, I think, was raised in America though, because, but you know, we can look into the backstory of Spyke. I actually want to believe that Spyke was brought up in America, so we can get away with this southern accent if you know, if we have to. But if I had to put on an African accent, I can. Like I said, we can also discuss this in the editing of my darn script that I already have written out. But sadly, I think they're going to go with the status quo of lesbians. Y'all know, since we've been tiptoeing in LGBT equality, what's always been the most acceptable is lesbians. Guys don't feel threatened at all when it comes to lesbian characters. Matter of fact, they are turned on by lesbians. Hence, you know, when we've seen LGBTQ characters come to the forefront, it's always been women. Like, let me go ahead and show y'all a flashback of Once Upon a Time with these two right here. They made Captain Hook's daughter none other than darn the person from Alice in Wonderland. They made Alice gay with none other than Regina's sister daughter. Regina's sister daughter, who is the Wicked Witch of the West. Wicked Witch of the West's daughter is now in a love interest with Captain Hook's daughter, if that makes sense. Captain Hook's daughter with none other than the witch that was the witch in the forest. Y'all know how that darn complex story get down on Once Upon a Time with all these soap opera like connections. So they made them two lesbians on there. And then you got my girl Nefessa Williams, shout out to Thunder, on Black Lightning. And after doing some research, now this might just be a coincidence. They just might have, similar last names, because Williams is quite common. But I did not know the person who plays Black Lightning's last name is Williams too, Chris Williams and Nefessa Williams. I got to look and see, are they really related in real life? Let me turn my light down, honey. Are they really related in real life? Or is that just a common last name? Like, I used to always think when I was young, Randy Jackson was part of the Jackson 5. And then I grew up and realized that he's not even a cousin. Randy Jackson is totally unrelated to the darn Jackson clan, honey. So it might be the same situation going on with them. But yeah, Nefessa Williams plays a bisexual, more leaning towards lesbian on the show Black Lightning. So we already got the lesbians down pat. I'm feeling that the gays have been overlooked the most. And when we get into transsexual, I did it. That's a way too taboo for some people just yet. So we can't even get into transsexuals just yet. Now I got a storyline on how we can get transsexuals into the forefront. That would be a whole nother video. So if y'all want my thoughts on LGBTQ heroes in the forefront, y'all subscribe, like the video, and stay tuned for that. But right now, I think what they're going to do is probably go with another token lesbian character. Only thing I would say at this point is, it's like, it ain't really much to say. I want her to at least be black, because I'm tired of the darn the suppression of black LGBT. Is like, in this day and age where people feeling that LGBT and black people are somehow two separate things, like you can't be black and LGBT. I understand there are two separate issues. One is sexual orientation and one is darn dealing with skin color. But however, black LGBTs do exist. And it's like white people have always shown to be able to be more accepted in the forefront when it comes to gays and lesbians and everything else, but black is a whole different story. So I would actually welcome Marvel to make the first black lesbian on the main screen. We already got her on the silver screen with Nefessa Williams playing Thunder. So now we need somebody like that on the big screen. I would prefer her to be black, and if not black, at least Native American, because it seems like Native Americans, when it comes to these topics, they always get left out of everything. Like, I think it's about time we have a Native American representation as well, because we can name black characters, we can name Hispanic characters, we can name Asian characters, we can name plethora of white characters. It all started with whiteness when it came to the comic book world. I mean, Superman being the first one, followed by Batman, and then you had Wonder Woman, who came out around the same time in 1941. It all started out with them three. And I believe that Wonder Woman is currently played by a Hispanic woman. So everybody else is represented but Native American. So I would welcome that thought right there. Like, throw in a Native American lesbian or a black lesbian. And here's another plot twist. I'm tired of the colorism and dividing dark skin against light skin, because every time you come out with a black character, you make them unrealistically dark, where you have to borderline go to Africa or Jamaica to cast somebody of that skin tone. But then when you actually try to hire somebody, you go the complete opposite. Like when you make somebody this damn skin color, it's like, okay, I look light skin up against this damn thing right here. For y'all that don't know, I actually don't have no heavy lights on and it's cloudy, so y'all seeing my skin tone about pretty much accurately today. I'm about the same complexion as Taraji P. Henson. I'm a little bit more neutral tone. I'm not as golden. So I'm like a little bit lighter than Gabrielle Union, a little bit darker than Taraji. So right in that, color spectrum. So, realistically, I should be like the lightest color that you would go for a character that you tend to make this damn color, because I'm the realistic version of American dark skin. Or if you want to go darker, your Viola Davises, your Tika Sumters, your Kelly Rowlands, etc. But they always go to like Zendaya. And it's like, and then it creates that unnecessary division. Because light-skinned black people are still black. They deserve some representation. They feel like, well, hell, the character is black. I can't help that they keep making the darn character darn pitch black. And then black people, we feel like, okay, the character look like us, but we don't never get the darn play the shit. So how about we do this? When it comes to the characters, and I'm going to keep reiterating this like a dead horse, why don't, starting forward, since we already have enough darn original dark-skinned black women, every black character in comics that has been made, for the exception of, I want to say, and this was ironic, the one time that they could have casted a lighter brown-skinned person to play a black character, they actually casted somebody darker, and that was with the character Misty Knight, who I actually love, and I miss on Luke Cage. I'm going to finally catch up on, I'm going to watch Defenders starting tomorrow as a limited series on Netflix. It's 8 episodes. I saw her on Luke Cage. I watched 2 seasons of that. I also watched the 2 seasons of Iron Fist. And now, before I end my subscription on the 16th, I'm going to watch the 8 episodes of The Defenders. They casted a dark-skinned woman for that, when they actually could have casted a lighter-skinned woman to play, Misty Knight. Because, in the comic books, she is shown as a lighter brown-skinned character, which is rare, because usually they all tend to be very darker in color. But yeah, why not go ahead and kill several birds with one stone? Because we already know that you ain't going to go into the gays. You're not going to come out with a gay superhero, because I feel like we still ain't there yet. Y'all ain't going to hire nobody with no authentic writing skills to darn on portray a proper gay character without it being overly, out there. You can hire a feminine gay character that's not going to be too overbearing. But anyways, if you don't want to hire your girl to play Spyke, honey, and darn gonna get those multiple birds with one stone, like I said, East African representation with Storm. I can darn gonna give the American black Southern darn gone LGBT some justice with playing Spyke, honey. And then you got the dark skin covered, because I'm on the lighter end of dark skin, along with the character of Storm. She's on the deeper end of brown skin, since y'all want to separate dark and light. Y'all know I think brown skin is like Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith, but some people will actually put me in the brown category. But whatever have you, still is not light. So it's like, universally, I would be that deeper complexion representation on screen. I can be the LGBT representation. Storm could be East African. And there you go right there. But we know it ain't going, more likely we only have a 20% chance of darn on Disney knocking on my door or sending me an email or something. So right now, I guess we're going to settle for the lesbians, honey. So I'm just saying to Marvel, just go ahead and make and if y'all wonder why I keep switching between Disney and Marvel, because Disney brought out Fox. Disney brought Marvel back from Fox, and if that makes sense, Disney brought out X-Men and the heroes underneath from Fox and gave the rights back to Marvel. So it's all in that Marvel Disney camp. So I'm conversing with both of them at the same time, since they pretty much are synonymous with each other. Since they're not going to go headstrong, I feel that they're not going to venture into the gay superhero. And they're going to stick with the status quo that has currently been acceptable, which is lesbian, because it's like, hell, and trans is off the table. If they're not even going to entertain a gay superhero just yet, you already know trans is an uphill battle from here. I feel that you should have a black woman who is light skinned on the big screen. That way it is an original character. That way, when people go out to go for the character, you know, the Zendayas of the world, the Beyoncés, the Lady Gaga. I'm about to say Lady Gaga, honey. The Beyoncés. Who was I thinking that starts with an L that's light skinned? The Mariah Careys, you know, etc. All those light-skinned women, they don't have to feel guilty about going out for a black character who is normally darker than them. They can have their own original character, make her have a good, you know, curly texture of hair. You know, get a light-skinned character who has curly hair. And then one more twist I would add. Make her unambiguous. Because when I feel that when it comes to light skin representation, it's always the ambiguous light skinned girl that always get chosen. But you have light skinned women who actually have, you know, dominantly West African features. Not everybody looks swirlish and ambiguous when they're light skinned. You have, you know, the Rihannas of the world who have a wider nose and, you know, some plump lips or whatever. So that would be another thing I would choose. Like, give her a good texture of 3A, 3B hair with some full lips, a wider nose, and, okay, we can play with the eye color. Like, okay, give her some light green eyes. And if a person who goes out for the role have brown eyes, you can easily just plop some contact lens up in there and call it a damn day. That way you have your lesbian representation, you have your light skin representation, and you have an accurate representation of light skinned black women who still look like black women, who are not, you know, okay, is she Native American, is she Latina? Like, you know, the light skinned black women who actually still look like black women need to be represented as well. We need to stop just highlighting one specific group of light skinned black women, you know, the racially ambiguous ones, and we need to also give representation to the ones who still look like black women. And that's how you tackle multiple, you know, birds with one stone. That's just my professional opinion as a marketer, which is another reason why I would do good as a doggone creative director on set, because I know this stuff. As somebody who loves, you know, the comic book world and superheroes, who has the marketing background and know how to deal with PR and public relations on topics like this when it comes to colorism and accurate representation amongst the black community and the LGBTQ community, honey, there's nobody better than me, honey. So Disney, Marvel, what you waiting for? I'll leave my email down below. Go ahead and call your girl up. I'm telling you, I will get on the plane and I will entertain a conversation. I'm not going to charge y'all no more to $1 million. Hell, I'll settle for a couple $100,000. I'm telling you, go ahead and darn email your damn girl, honey. And I'm telling y'all need to be sharing this with so y'all think I be joking. Every time I do these videos, y'all be darn knowing Diva One. Y'all be like, oh, Diva One playing. I ain't playing. Y'all be darn just looking at my videos and then y'all don't ever say shit. I want y'all to share. I want y'all to share this with darn Marvel and Disney. My little 10 people who darn watch me religiously, I need y'all to share this with Marvel. Y'all go ahead and go to Twitter and Facebook and darn hashtag Marvel and Disney. They gonna darn pay attention to me. If Beyonce can low-key watch my shit among several other celebrities, honey, I know I can get the attention of darn Marvel and darn Disney. Ain't nobody too big if the Queen Bee can make time and look at my little darn platform with less than 1,000 subscribers, baby. So there's still some hope. So y'all go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave y'all thoughts down below. What do y'all think on my suggestion on the first lesbian superhero on the big screen being a light-skinned black woman? That way, you know, light-skinned black women who are unambiguous get representation. We'll finally get a lesbian representation. And then, you know, if that goes well, then we can go into the topic of the gay community, which, once again, we can then go with my idea of making Spyke the first a black open gay character. We can go into that storyline. And then, of course, my trans girl, we'll get to us after, you know, we attack those two subjects. We got to ease it on in here slowly. We just can't come full kapow up in here. We got to have a plan over the next darn 5 to 7 years on how to introduce trans. But I'm thinking that we can do it that way, you know, first get the light skin representation out with the lesbians, then have light skinned women represented, then come, you know, LGBT representation on the gay side with, you know, Spyke, and then go into the home stretch with finally getting a transgender representation. And I will actually do an updated video on the perfect way to introduce a transgender woman into the Marvel without it being overbearing, without it going into, you know, R-rate, you know, it won't go across the, how can I say, it won't go across the ethical lines of, you know, cartoon characters into a too adult topic of subjects. I will show you how to properly, you know, get a transgender character in where it won't feel awkward at all. But anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Whew, I got to go ahead and drink my water. For y'all that don't know, I have been cutting down on my Mountain Dew. I still have been sticking with it. There ain't been no, y'all know how some people say, oh, I'm going to give up this, that, and the third, and within a couple weeks, you back to your old habit. Honey, I've been going strong for over a month now. I still got my darn on water. I've been only drinking Mountain Dew 2 to 3 times a day when it used to be 4 to 5 times a day. And then next month, hopefully I can get it down to 2 times a day and then eventually go off. But right now, I'm still getting my water in. This is the Clear American Orange Cream. I don't like this one. I like the lemon one better, but still, good choice to drink. But anyways, I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.